Rules 10, Section 13, Paragraph 31 of the Rules of the Senate provided this committee has jurisdiction over all matters relating to planning, construction, maintenance, improvement and repair of buildings, highways, bridges, roads, ports, airports, harbors, and parks, drainage, flood control and protection, and irrigation and water utilities. The committee is hereby duly constituted with 13 members with this representation as your chairperson, Senators J.V. Ejercito, Aimee Marcos, and Erwin Tulfo as vice chairpersons. And the members of the committee are Senators Risa Ontiveros, Joel Villanueva, Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Christopher Lawrence Bongo, Rodante Marcoleta, Rafi Tulfo, Camille Villar, Lorne Legarda, Lito Lapid. They are joined by our ex-officio members, Senate President Pro Tempore Panfilo Ping Lacson, Senate Majority Leader Juan Miguel Mig Subiri, Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano, and Senator Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano. At this point, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Erwin Tulfo. Thank you for joining us today. And with that, the chair hereby declares the presence of a quorum. We shall now proceed with the business at hand. Regarding the rules of the committee will adopt and subscribe to the pertinent provisions of the rules of the Senate and the rules of procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation. These shall govern the operations, proceedings, and conduct of all meetings, hearings, and investigations under the jurisdiction of this committee. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the pertinent rules mentioned are hereby adopted. The briefing of the DPWH and other agencies in the priority legislative agenda and the implementation status of recently completed infrastructure programs and other relevant matters related to high impact infrastructure projects. So, good morning, everyone. This public hearing of the Committee on Public Works is hereby called to order. May I ask the committee secretary to acknowledge our guests and resource persons attending today.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I acknowledge the presence of the following resource persons. From the Department of Public Works and Highways, Undersecretary Ador Canlas, Assistant Secretary Constante Llanes Jr., Engineer Allen Penaojas, Engineer J. Atento, and Engineer Amabella Cortez. From the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, we have Engineer Francisco Pesino Jr., Traffic Engineering Center. From the Engineer Michael Dose, from Flood Control and Sewerage Management Office. From the Department of Transportation, we have Undersecretary Mark Steven Pastor. Morning. We have Assistant Secretary Eduardo Danilo Macabolos. Morning. We have Mr. Jomar Lua, Project Manager. From the Department of Economy, Planning and Development, we have Assistant Secretary Roderick Planta. Director Paul Andrew Tatlonghari. From the Public-Private Partnership Center of the Philippines, we have Engineer Maria Cristina Cleofas, Project Development Officer, and Ms. Karen Tiliada, Project Evaluation Officer. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Please allow me to make specific rules to ensure the orderly and efficient conduct of the hearing. Can the committee secretary inform today's attendees of our House rules?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kindly mute your microphone if you are not recognized. Since the chair cannot see everyone at once, feel free to get his attention by raising your hand. And please identify the organization, agency, office you belong to and your position. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you. Let us now proceed with the public hearing of the organizational meeting and briefing of the Committee on Public Works. Good morning to all of you. Before we formally start, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude for everyone taking the time to attend the Committee on Public Works' first hearing and organizational meeting today. I would like to stress my commitment that during this humble representation's chairmanship of this committee, we will practice utmost diligence in delivering public service. The Senate Committee on Public Rules, per the rules of the Senate, has jurisdiction over all matters of public infrastructure like the roads, bridges, ports, and others. Gusto po nating klaruhin at bigyan diin na hindi sakop ng ating komite ang pag-aaproba ng mga proposed infrastructure projects. Kung hindi, tayo po ay nakafocus sa ating mandato na gumawa ng polisiya at batas ukol sa infrastruktura na mas magpapaginhawa at makakatulong sa ating mga kababayan. According to the Institute for Management and Development's 2025 World Competitive Ranking, the Philippines' infrastructure competitiveness is ranked 60 among 69 surveyed countries. Similarly, the Philippine Institute of Development Studies highlighted the country is also lagging in terms of tourism infrastructure compared to its Southeast Asian counterparts. Malinaw po sa mga datos na itong nahuhuli na ang ating bansa pagdating sa infrastruktura. Bilang isang developing country, lubang napakahalaga ng infrastruktura para sa pagunlad at paglago ng ating bansa at ekonomiya. We just do not need simple infrastructure projects. We need well thought out, coordinated, and contextualized infrastructure projects that specifically respond to the needs of our people and our country as an archipelago. We want to see projects that promote connectivity, are people-centered, and sustainable. Ilan sa mga nais natin marinig mula sa ating mga ahensya ay ang kanilang mga plano at policy directions para tayo po dito sa Senado ay makatulong, matutukan at makomplement ang mga infrastructure projects para sa multi-sectoral economic development agenda. Mula sa agriculture, transportation, tourism, logistics, pati na rin sa education sector. Nais din natin marinig kung ano-ano ang mga batas na kailangan maipasa ng 20th Congress para makatulong sa agenda ng gobyerno. Ultimately, the Senate Committee seeks to collaborate, complement, and cooperate with the national government agencies' priority public works and legislative agenda. Alam po natin vulnerable ang ating bansa sa natural calamities tulad ng lindol, bagyo, volcanic interruptions, at marami pang iba. Dahil dito, gusto po natin mapag-usapan ang mga plano ng ahensya patungkol sa people-centric, sustainable at disaster-resilient infrastructures. We sincerely want to have quality infrastructure that will last long and withstand natural disasters. With these concerns, alongside the current issues plaguing the department, I request that the DPWH give us a concise but comprehensive and transparent briefing of the current situation in the department and your plans to answer the demands of our people, not just the basic infrastructure, but the holistic infrastructure and public works agenda. Thank you very much. And before we proceed, may I ask the other senators if they have any opening statements?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Senator Mark Villar. Our resource persons, our guests, and fellow Filipinos. As Vice Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Public Works, this representation believes that this briefing is timely and significant, so I thank everyone for your presence and participation. We opened this committee not just to talk about roads, bridges, and highways, but also to confront a painful truth that our public works sector, which should be the backbone of our progress, has long been tainted by corruption and inefficiency. Take, for example, the so-called flood control projects. Billions upon billions of pesos have been poured into them year after year. Yet every rainy season, our people still wade through waist-deep waters. Homes are destroyed and lives are lost. Ang dahilan, binubulsa lang po ng ilan ang bilyon-bilyon para sa flood control. Let us be honest. Flood control has become one of the biggest milking cows in the national budget. Same project names, same amounts, repeated year after year in different provinces, yet the floodwater remains. This is not just an anomaly, it is robbery in broad daylight, and worse, it is treated as if it were normal. Today marks the dawning of a new era in DPWH with a leader that is performer and without any issue of corruption. I believe this agency will be in good hands. This committee will not close its eyes to anomalies. Instead, we will open every page of the budget, question every irregularity, and expose every syndicate hiding in public works. It is also worth mentioning, Mr. Chair, that I filed Senate Bill number 251, or the Accelerated Infrastructure Development Act, which seeks to expedite the completion of government infrastructure projects by mandating round-the-clock operations, and Senate Bill number 769, which seeks to institutionalize Metro Manila Drainage Master Plan as a long-term strategy for drainage infrastructure development. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa konkreto at aspalto, ito ay tungkol sa integridad ng pamahalaan at sa karapatan ng bawat Pilipino na hindi malunod, di lang po sa baha, kundi sa korupsyon din. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, at magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Umaasa ako sa isang makabuluhan at produktibong talakayan ngayong umaga. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Salamat po. At this point, we can hear the presentation of the Department of Public Works and Highways. Thank you.
Chairperson, Senator Mark Villar, sir, and Vice Chairperson Senator Erwin Tulfo, sir. Good morning po. To other resource persons this morning, good morning, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. My name is Constante Llanes Jr. I'm the Assistant Secretary for Planning, Service, and Legislative Liaison Office. The Secretary authorized me to present in behalf of the department this morning, particularly the priority infrastructure projects of the Department of Public Works and Highways focus on the infrastructure flagship projects. To start with, next slide, please. We have next slide, please. We have under the Department of Public Works and Highways, we have 74 projects under the infrastructure flagship program. Broken down into 6 completed projects, 43 ongoing projects, and 25 not yet started projects, at a total of 2.7 trillion worth of projects under this infrastructure flagship program. Next slide, please. Let me present to you, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the completed flagship projects of the department. Firstly, the Pangil Bay Bridge. This is a 3.16 kilometer, 8.02 billion peso worth of project funded under the Korean Exim Bank Development Cooperation Fund. This project would connect the city of Tangub in Misamis Occidental in the municipality of Tubod in Lanao del Norte, and it would benefit around 11,339 travelers per day. The project was inaugurated by the President, President Ferdinand Marcos, on September 27, 2024. Also, another completed project is the Arterial Road Bypass Plaridel Project, Phase 3. This is a 22.46 kilometer, 5.26 billion project under JICA-assisted program, and it will be implemented from 2018 to 2024. And it has already been completed. The next project is the Samar Pacific Coastal Road. This is an 18.64 kilometer, 1.24 billion peso project funded under the KADCF also, and it was inaugurated by the President last July 14, 2023. We have next slide, please. We have also under our program, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the Inter-Island Linkage Bridge Program. Here, this will connect various islands of the province or of the country, through the construction of short and long span bridges with a total length of about 90 kilometers. Those that are in blue color number, those are already completed, and those that are ongoing are in green color, and those that are red are still under pre-construction. We also have the Metro Manila Logistics Improvement Program. Under this, we have the sub-program Metro Manila Priority Bridge Seismic Improvement Project. This will ensure the safety of motorists that will use the Guadalupe Bridge and Lambingan Bridge. We also have the Priority Bridge Crossing Pasig Marikina River, Mangahan Floodway Bridges, and the Metro Manila Bridges Project. Next slide shows you the Inter-Island Linkage Bridge Program, particularly the following projects: the Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge, which is a 32.15 kilometer bridge, 219 billion peso ADB and AIIB assisted program. This would open Bataan Technopark and Cavite Gateway to direct trade movement. And it is projected to be completed, to start on 2025 and to be completed in 2030. The Panay-Guimaras Negros Bridge, Mr. Chair, is a 33.09 kilometer, 321.29 billion peso project. It's an economic development cooperation fund funded and targeted to start at 2026 and completed at 2032. This would boost tourism, agriculture, and labor movement in Western Visayas. We also have in the next slide the Cebu-Mactan Port Bridge with a component of coastal road. This is an 8.68 kilometers, provides decongestion relief for Cebu's main corridor. And the San Juanico Bridge. This bridge would be the port bridge, the second bridge, no? It's a 2.61 kilometer and 14.3 billion peso worth project. It was targeted to start in 2028 and to be completed by 2030, and it supports the post-Yolanda economic recovery and doubles the capacity between Samar and Leyte provinces. We have, next slide please, also the Gicam Bridge, Mr. Chair. This 1.21 kilometer bridge, 1.15 billion peso project, ADB assisted. It's already 88% complete. And the Samal Davao Island Connector Bridge, a 4.01 kilometer, 23.04 billion peso. It's a China official development assisted project. It's already 36% complete. This would cut travel time from 55 minutes to just 4.5 minutes once completed. Under our Metro Manila Bridge Seismic Improvement Project, we have the Guadalupe Bridge. This is a 114 meter, a 5.7 billion peso JICA assisted project that will, when built, this is built to withstand an intensity, when constructed or improved, an 8 to 9 intensity earthquake. And also we have the Lambingan Bridge, also under this seismic improvement project, 98.1 meter. This would ensure bridge continuity in seismic response routes. These bridges are for improvement to be resilient backbone for EDSA and Southern National Capital Region under high magnitude scenarios. Also, another program that we're pursuing, Mr. Chairman, is the Philippine, next slide, please, is the Philippine High Standard Highway Network Program. Actually, this was prepared during your time, Mr. Chairman, during the pandemic. The JICA prepared this plan. This is another program of DPWH in the Philippine High Standard Highway Network. And the DPWH targets to increase the country's high standard highway and accessway from 523 kilometers to 1,963 kilometers based on the master plan. This high standard highway included in this the country's first ever long distance mountain tunnel in Davao City, which will be showed later on. Next slide, please. So this is the Davao City Bypass is a 45.5 kilometers, 70.81 billion peso JICA assisted with Government of the Philippines Fund project. This would connect Panabo and Toril directly, bypassing Davao urban congestion. And there will be a twin tunnel, and this will be the longest mountain road tunnels constructed in the country as far as the department is concerned. So we also have the Davao City Coastal Road, including Bukana Bridge project. It's a 16.9 kilometer and a 30.08 billion peso budget, funded under China Aid and for Bukana Bridge. And the Bukana Bridge is already 89.43% complete. Next slide shows, Mr. Chairman, the Luzon Spine Expressway Network Program, which involves the construction of 1,073 kilometers of expressways, high-standard highways in Luzon. So if this would be completed, the travel time as projected in the study from Ilocos to Bicol will be reduced from 20 hours to 9 hours. Next slide, please. Under this, we have the Central Luzon Link Expressway Project, Phase 1, a 30-kilometer, 14.94 billion peso project, following the PPP scheme in its implementation. This would shorten Tarlac City, Cabanatuan City travel time from 70 minutes to just 20 minutes. And also we have the NLEX-SLEX connector. It's a 7.7 kilometer, 23.2 billion peso project, also following the PPP scheme of implementation. This would provide better access to Manila ports like North Harbor and airports Naiya and Clark. The next slide is the TPLEX extension, a 59.4 kilometer project. This anchors future corridors to Ilocos tourism and agribusiness zones and the Cavite-Laguna Expressway. This would shorten Kawit-Binyan travel time from 2 hours to 45 minutes. We also have, next slide please, Mr. Chair, the Camarines Sur Expressway, a 15.21 kilometer, 9.24 billion peso locally funded. It's already locally funded project. It's already 49.34% complete. And the Dalton Pass East alignment is a 23 kilometer, 67.4 billion peso JICA assisted project. This would provide an all-weather alternative to landslide-prone Dalton Pass. The Department of Public Works is also focusing on the improvement of the Daang Maharlika. Next slide, please. This is one of our program, the Daang Maharlika Improvement Program, which involves the widening, reconstruction, rehabilitation, and upgrading of road sections and bridges along the 3,092-kilometer Daang Maharlika Highway, or otherwise known as the National Road 1. So we also focus our attention in improving the nautical highway network. This would involve widening, reconstruction, rehabilitation, and upgrading of road sections and bridges along the 2,812 kilometers and nautical highway. Mr. Chair, allow me to present also the flood management program of the department. Next slide, please. This is the flood management across 18 major river basins. As you can see in the slide, those that are in blue picture are already completed, and those in green are ongoing. So the coverage would be in Luzon, Cagayan, Abra, Agno, Pampanga, Pasig, Marikina. Visayas covers Panay, Halaur, Ilog, Hilabangan, and Mindanao. Would cover Agusan, Tagoloan, CDO, Cagayan de Oro, Davao, and Mindanao river basins. This projects enables predictable flood protection for 10 million Filipinos and would adopt, Mr. Chair, the river basin strategy or integrated water resource management, no longer fragmented pumping stations, and would support agriculture continuity, especially in Central Luzon and Mindanao, and aligns with climate change goals under national adaptation plans. Let me show, Mr. Chair, the projects that we have completed. The next slide. Please, thank you very much. The Pasig Marikina River Channel Improvement Project, Phase 4, which involves dredging and excavation works, provision of new parapet walls and embankment along the upper Marikina River. And we also have the integrated disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation measures in the low-lying areas of Pampanga Bay, Stage 1. This would involve dredging of 38.5 kilometers, river widening of 14.9 kilometers, and slope protection. The flood risk management project in Cagayan de Oro would involve structural and river improvement and non-structural measures to reduce flooding in high-risk flood-prone areas and develop along the 10-kilometer stretch of the Cagayan de Oro River stretch. Next slide shows, Mr. Chair, these are the updated master plans and feasibility studies under the term of President Marcos. So in order to ensure continued relevance and effectiveness of flood control projects, the Department of Public Works and Highways, under the administration of President Marcos, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., has completed the updating of master plans and feasibility studies of 7 of the 18 major river basins that I showed you earlier, specifically those for the Apayao, Abulug, Pampanga, Bicol, Panay, Halaur, Bawayan, Malungon, and Agusan River basins. Also, we are presenting, the next slide, please. Mr. Chair, Your Honors, the list of major river basins with completed and updated master plans. And this includes Abra, Tagoloan, Cagayan de Oro, Agus, Davao, and Tagum, Libuganon. Next slide, please. And currently, we are updating the master plans for Cagayan, Agno, River Basin, Pasig Marikina, Laguna Devay, Ilog Hilabangan, and Mindanao River. The next and last slide, Mr. Chairman, Your Honors, presents the implementation challenges of the Department of Public Works and Highways. We have the following: the right-of-way issues, that delays arising from limited right-of-way budget allocation, site accessibility, the accessibility issues due to remote and or difficult to reach areas, funding constraints, insufficient fund releases, which result to project cost escalation due to extended timelines, inflation, and environmental liabilities and unforeseen environmental constraints, and force majeure delays caused by unworkable conditions during natural disasters, and including adverse weathers, earthquakes, and floods. We also have, in addition to that, procurement issues. We have the lengthy bidding and negotiation processes and delays in mobilizing key consultants for feasibilities, for the conduct of feasibility study, detailed engineering design, construction supervision, or contractors which collectively push back project implementation timelines. And last is the sustainability, rising traffic volumes and vehicle overloading, leading to faster road deterioration and the need for more frequent rehabilitation and repairs. To the right side of the slide, Mr. Chairman, that presents to you the comparison of our requests in the National Expenditure Program, the budget that we requested for these infrastructure flagship projects from 2023 to to 2026, no, in terms of national expenditure program, and compared to the release, no, in terms of the General Appropriations Act approval. So as shown, no, for 2023, we have the 99.45 proposed in the NEP, the fund for IFPs, compared to the GAA's just 56.95% at 95 billion, and that is 48% decrease. For 2024, we experienced a 45% decrease from 139.11 billion to 75.92 billion. And for 2025, we have a 42% decrease in following our proposed 166.55 billion worth of fund for IFPs, and we were only given 96.64. And for 2026, we proposed 152.87 billion. Mr. Chair, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to present our program. That's all. Salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you. We also have a presentation from DOTR, which I will proceed with, but just a few questions. I saw the flood management program for the 18 River Basin, so it's ongoing. I remember the Pasig Marikina project. Is that tapos na ba yung Pasig Marikina, or meron pa rin mga phases that are ongoing? Yes, go, please.
Mr. Chair, there is still ongoing construction of Pasig Marikina Phase 5. And also the upstream, there will be a proposal to construct 3 dams there upstream.
So yun
in Sierra Madre.
In Sierra Madre. Pero hindi yun ang next phase na sisimulan.
Mr. Chair.
And kailan ba yan magsisimula?
It is now being included in the feasibility study, and it will be funded by JICA and World Bank.
So all these are lodged, naka-lodge naman to sa Unified Project Management Office?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Until now, they're all
Yes.
lodged. So ano lang, tuloy-tuloy naman yung master plan projects.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Walang tigil naman yan. Okay. So, because I remember that between different administrations, so that has been continuous. The master plan just to clarify, the master plan for flood control has been continuing and continues till today.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. And when is the most recent inauguration phase?
The most recent inauguration will be by next year.
Next year. There was one recently also, di ba?
Yes,
Yeah.
I cannot. Last year, right?
Last year. So there's also inauguration. And I understand meron kalsada rin sa di ba, sa
On the back.
revetment structure.
Yes, sir.
Ito para sa mga vehicles na so pwedeng dumaan yung mga vehicles, traffic vehicles, and also yung mga I guess for the maintenance of the river, yun ang access point. So importante din yan.
Yes, Mr. Chair. That is to be utilized by the vehicles and also for the maintenance.
Yes. Okay. I think also Senator Erwin, may mga questions ka rin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 2 quick question lang po. Dun sa binigay niyo po sa amin na briefing, ASEC Llanes. Doon po sa right-of-way, mga issues. Tanong po mga kababayan kasi po natin, sir, bakit gagawa tayo ng proyekto kung hindi pa natin sure at may haharang sa atin doon sa, for example, highway, di po ba? May masasagasaan tayo ng mga ari-arian, yung right-of-way issue. Di po ba dapat bago gawin yung proyekto, siguraduhin na okay na, wala na tayong issue sa right-of-way dahil may pambayad naman tayo. But how come nagiging issue ito at tumitigil ang proyekto because of the fact na sasabihin natin na may nagrereklamo? Di po ba dapat kausapin na o bayaran na yan kung sino may-ari? Despite the fact this is a government project, how do we consolidate this?
We have the description of the challenges here, and it says that the budget that we're receiving are limited in terms of for payment of right of way, Mr. Chair, and there are other reasons that we're enumerated here that I was not able to identify. It says here that, limited right-of-way budget allocation, one reason, and corporate land ownership issues. We have deficiencies in claimant documentation, expropriation proceedings that takes time, opposition from affected lot owners so that we cannot come in to the area of the project, Mr. Chair. And pending permits, utility line obstructions, and resettlement of informal settlers. Those are the issues, Mr. Chair, that we encounter in.
Kaya nga, Mr. Chair, Assistant Secretary Llanes, my question is, bago po natin gawin yung proyekto, di po ba gawin yung kalsada, what have you, bridge, di po ba? Hindi po ba pwedeng siguraduhin natin na wala ng problema para tuloy-tuloy yung trabaho natin? Kasi mamaya baka daanan natin lupa na ito, magrereklamo yung may-ari. Pagdating doon sa dulo, may problema na naman. Hindi po ba po pwede para dire-diretso yung, ito po nakikita ng problema ng mga kababayan ho natin na naantala yung project because of this right-of-way. Kasi nasabi ho ninyo kulang ang budget. Ang punto naman ho ng mga kababayan natin, dapat kinausap na muna natin, magkano bang gusto mo dyan? Ito lang pambayad namin. Hoy, ikaw, susunod na may-ari, dadaan kami dyan. Kailangan government project ito, priority project. Di po ba dapat kinakausap na po muna lahat yan para dire-diretso po? Kasi naantala po Mr. Chair, Assistant Secretary Llanes.
Yes, sir. We strongly agree with what you mentioned, Mr. Chair. Particularly for foreign assisted projects, that is actually the principle. In fact, these are the requirements of the foreign funding institutions, Mr. Chair, that you have to come up with the resettlement action plan, for example, and you have to compute everything and identify the payables before you proceed with the project, and that's a requirement, a matter of requirement. So all of this has to be taken care of and cleared first. But if we lack in enough funds to pay these affected people, affected persons, the properties, even yung mga structures po, that we value all of this, and then we have all of these items computed in the resettlement action plan and supposed to be paid. But if we lack the fund to pay them, then that could be a reason for delay, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I have, I'm sorry, this will just be quick. Mamaya na lang po siguro, Mr. Chair, siguro sa second round of questioning, I have to further discuss regarding this right-of-way issue. Pero mapunta lang po tayo. Meron po kaming natalisod na tulay dito po sa may Quinta, sa may Quiapo. It's called the Pasig Esplanade Bridge, footbridge. Ako po lagi nagsisimba sa Quiapo. Ito po laging binubulong sa akin, nirereklamo ng mga nagsisimba sa Quiapo. Hindi ho matapos-tapos. 2019 pa raw ho ito ginawa. Hanggang ngayon, halos nangangalahati pa lang. It's called the Pasig Esplanade Footbridge. Ano ho ba ang problema rito? Is it kulang po ang pondo? Sinasabi naman, overpriced na nga daw po eh. Mas mahal pa ito dun sa in-inaugurate ng dating Pangulo na Binondo Intramuros Bridge. Ito, walkway lang po ito para sa mga tao na parang 2 lanes lang na kalsada papunta doon sa kabila from Quinta Market going po doon sa may LRT, sa may ferry station sa kabila sa Loton, pero hindi na po matapos-tapos. Ano raw po ba ang dahilan bakit hindi po matapos-tapos itong tulay na ito? Hanggang ngayon, kalahati pa lang, 6 years na, 2019, 2021, 6 years na po hindi pa rin matapos-tapos. Ano pong explanation dito, sir?
Mr. Chair, if I may be allowed, from what I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tama. Kayo po yung RD po ng LTR dati, no? Director
Yes.
ka ayusin ka last. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, this project was actually started sometime in 2017. Ano po yun eh? It's a interagency project. DBM being the lead agency. And the agencies concerned are DBM, DNR, Pasig Rehab, DPWH, MMDA, and LGUs. The project was actually conceptualized in 2017, it was bid out and started in 2018. And one of the components of that project is the bridge that you were referring to, Mr. Chair. And it was supposed to be a composition of several components. But the bridge component was started in 2018, but because of some issues there, where there is a geotechnical study made which showed failure in the original alignment. So when that was addressed and a different alignment was followed, the phase one of the project started, and the phase one was actually completed. The components of the phase one are, if I remember correctly, are the construction of the piers, no, and that is the phase one which I continued during that time. But phase two and phase three, there was a challenge regarding the alignment where we were given an authority to enter the LRTA compound through the late General Beroya. But I believe LRTA has a contract with the park. I just forgot the name of the establishment. And this was suspended because they had that case filed by that establishment against the DPWH. So again, the phases 2 and 3 were suspended until now. That's why I believe the NCR, which is now implementing this project, has terminated the project implementation, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, mamaya na lang po siguro dahil magpe-present pa yung dalawang agencies pa, pero I'm not satisfied with that answer po. You guys, gagawa po kayo ng tulay, tapos sinasabi nyo may problema sa planning. Di po ba dapat pag gumawa po ng isang tulay, ang DPWH sigurado, di po ba? I mean, tapos sasabihin mo may adjustment. How can you adjust kung gumagawa na po kayo? Dapat doon pa lang po sa planning, nakaplano na po, di ba? Gaano kalalim, ano mga materyales, may tatamaan ba tayo doon sa kabila? This is what I was saying, right of way. Kumukontra ngayon yung LRTA, di ba? Sinasabi nila, hindi raw po pwede. Sinasabi niyo yung ganun, yung ferry station sa Loton. Isa na lahat po na ito, naisip na ho natin bago tayo gumawa ng tulay o kalsada, di po ba? Ano mangyayari? Gagawa tayo ng tulay papunta ron. Kontra pala si ganun. Ibig sabihin, pag natayo na natin, tsaka pa lang natin problemahin kung ano sasabihin noon. I don't buy that. It doesn't work like that. Kaya tayo tumatagal ang proyekto ng gobyerno because of these incidents. Planuhin natin, kasama na lahat, di ba? Yung may magrereklamo ba? May maniningil ba sa atin doon yung right of way? Baka masyadong mahal. Dapat kinocompute na rin po natin yung cost ng project. Oy, si Mr. X na may-ari ng lupa doon, gusto niya ganito kamahal. Pwede ba ito? So we have to do all this, di po ba? Kasi ngayon, naantala, kagaya niyan, antala. Yung sinasabi mong LRTA, kung sino man yung patay na, kasama na si Jose Cristo ngayon, paano pa natin makakausap yun? All these things po itong problema, kaya yung mga kababayan po natin, malungkot po sila, hindi sila natutuwa sa trabaho natin sa gobyerno because of all this, di po ba? But anyway, Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. Let's proceed with the DOTR presentation po. I'll just ask this question later.
Yes, thank you very much. And maybe you can revisit this. So maybe you can revisit this with the LRTA, so we can come up with a solution para ma-maximize, para matapos din. Sayang din naman yung project. Baka we can come up with a compromise with the LRTA. Maybe you can revisit that. So at this point, can we recognize the DOTR for their presentation? Salamat.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Mark Villar, Mr. Vice Chairman, Senator Erwin Tulfo, magandang umaga po. Mula po sa Kagawaran ng Transportasyon, under the leadership of Secretary Giovanni Banoy Lopez, we are here to present the accomplishments of the Department of Transportation under the Road Transport and Infrastructure. Next slide, please. We start off with the locally funded projects. Next slide, please. One of the priorities of the department and considered a flagship project is the EDSA busway system. It aims to significantly improve the bus services along EDSA by cutting travel time between the Mall of Asia to Monumento from the 2 to 3 hours to 1.5 hours. It also aims to operate more efficiently by reducing the number of buses from 3,342 units prior to the pandemic to 500 units through the use of the dedicated median bus lane, which will minimize service interruptions compared to the former curbside setup. The EDSA busway project is now under rehabilitation with regard to the bus stops. We recently procured 4 stations for rehabilitation. We also will reconstruct the Kamuning footbridge, and we will replace it with a modern footbridge to be installed in Kamuning footbridge with an elevator and even a walkway that is accessible for PWDs. The inauguration of the SM North EDSA busway concourse station, the groundbreaking as well of the, as mentioned, the rehabilitation of phase 1. We also are in the middle of the design and build of the new EDSA busway stations, procurement of security and janitorial services. We likewise installed and supplied bus timers. We designed and installed 5 man lifts for footbridges pursuant to compliance to our existing PWD laws, and the installation of 145 pan tilt and zoom cameras and 21 bullet cameras for monitoring. The said surveillance system is in coordination with the MMDA Metro-based system. Currently, the total ridership for the EDSA busway since its inception in June 1 of 2020 is 317,570,947 individuals. Here are the 2025 EDSA busway project key accomplishment as seen in pictures. Next slide, please. Aside from the EDSA busway project, the department also focused on active transportation. This aims to address the need for improved active transport infrastructure to promote inclusive mobility and enhance road safety for vulnerable users. It includes the construction of safe and accessible pedestrian cycling pathways, the establishment also of the end-of-trip facilities, and the improvement of existing active transport infrastructure. It is targeted to construct and improve the 2,400 kilometers of cycleways and walkways nationwide by end of 2028. By investing in dedicated and high-quality infrastructure for walking and cycling, the department aims to encourage the adoption of sustainable transportation modes, alleviate traffic congestion, improve air quality, and foster a safer and more inclusive environment for all road users. Next slide, please. Part of the 2025 accomplishments of the Active Transportation Project Management Office is the Muntinlupa Road Safety Park. We also inaugurated 16 units of public utility vehicle stops located in Manila, Marikina, Malabon, Calibo, and Malayaklan. We also installed 48 units of bike channels in footbridges, installed in footbridges in Metro Manila, and 12 units of persons with disability ramps in Metro Manila, and 2 units of upgraded crosswalk or speed table along ADB Avenue. Here are also images of the key accomplishments of active transportation for 2025. Now proceed with the foreign assisted projects of the road transport and infrastructure, mainly focusing on the Cebu Bus Rapid Transit and the Davao Public Transport Modernization Project. For the Cebu Bus Rapid Transit, As a briefer, it is one of the government's major projects that will provide an affordable, reliant, efficient, and safe public transportation system in the province of Cebu. The project will be the first bus rapid transit that will mimic the golden standards as seen in Curitiba, Brazil, and in Bogota, Colombia. The project involves 17 kilometers of segregated lines with 22 bus stations, 1 depot, 2 trunk terminals. It will run from the South Road properties in the Cebu City South District as well as from Bulacau, going to IT Park in the Northern District through the Natalio Bacalso Avenue and Osmeña Boulevard. It also includes an 18 kilometers of mixed traffic with 2 mixed traffic terminals and 62 bus stops and shelters along the city, including Talisay. The aim of the project is to improve the overall performance of the passengers transportation system in Cebu City, and in terms of quality, level of service, safety, environmental efficiency. For 2025, the key accomplishment is the almost completion of the Package 1. We are set to inaugurate this by end of October or first week of November. This is a 2.38 kilometers dedicated BRT lane from Cebu South Bus Terminal all the way to Capitol. And we also completed the 1.15 kilometer urban realm enhancement, which improved the sidewalks, bike lanes, lighting, and so on and so forth. 3 constructed bus stations are also in place: Fuente Station, CNU, and the Cebu South Bus Terminal Station. We likewise energized the street lights along Package 1 segment. For packages 2 and 3, we are in the middle of right-of-way acquisition. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. And finally, for the department, we also started the construction for Davao Public Transport Modernization Project, or the Davao Bus. This is in partnership with the local government unit of Davao. This will establish a modern bus system with electric and diesel-powered bus units operating across 32 routes with a coverage of 653-kilometer network. It includes the construction of 3 bus terminals, 5 depots, and approximately 1,000 bus stops, bus shelters, and a driving school. The project started during the actual civil works started during the term of Secretary Vince Dizon and continued by Secretary Lopez. And it is, we intend to have partial operability by end of 2027. Next slide, please. The key accomplishments of the 2025 for the DPTMP this 2025 is the acquisition and commencement of construction for the Kalinan Driving School, the award and commencement of the general consultant, and the resumption of the works with public utility companies. We also installed mock-up designs for the bus shelters. We also awarded the bus fleet contracts, and we are also in coordination with the 5,397 drivers operators for the social preparatory training. Next slide. Next slide, please. Very briefly, this is not actually a hard infrastructure, but it's considered a soft infra. We also launched this year the Love Bus program as mandated by the President during the State of the Nation address. There are 2 existing routes per the biggest islands in the country, Manila, Visayas, and Davao. And we intend to increase the routes for public consumption next year should we have funding for it. The concept is that it is free from 6 to 9 in the morning and 5 to 8 in the evening, and all day for PWDs. That will be all for the road transport and infrastructure, Mr. Chair. I'd like to turn it over to our rail sector, ASEC Macabolos.
Mr. Chair, if you would please, I would like to ask the DOTR. Yung hong busway natin, napapansin lang ho natin, na parang wala pong time limit pag dumating po yung isang bus sa bus stop. Minsan 10 minutes siya doon. Yung mga ibang bus, nagkaka-traffic tuloy dahil nag-aantay pa ho siya. Hindi ba natin pwedeng gawin na 2 minutes ka lang, lumarga ka na dyan, lumayas ka na dyan dahil may mga nakapila sa likod mo. Ang problema ho, umaabot to, lalo na pag hindi rush hour. Yun ho ang problema. Ang haba, 5-6 na bus, lalo na sa gabi, nakapila ho na ganon. May magagawa ba or are you doing something about it already to correct that issue?
Tama po, Mr. Chair. We also noticed that, sir, when we assumed office in February. In fact, sir, sa monumento po, yung bus bunching natin, sir, it sometimes exceeds 10 units, 10 bus units. So what the department did is we installed timers, sir, and they are given 1 minute po to fetch passengers. And they are, we also installed security guards and even SAIC personnel, sir, para po after 1 minute, we will ask them to move to the next station.
24 hours po ba yung busway natin, Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Number 2, napapansin ko din ho dahil papadaan ho tayo dito sa gilid, sa labas. Pagbaba ho ng pasahero, nagdidelikado kasi paano pag may biglang dumadaan, yung mga exempted po, ambulansya, biglang. Di kaya baka pagbaba niya sa bus, matamaan siya ng ambulansya dumadaan or mga bombero or what have you, mga sasakyan na pwedeng dumaan dyan sa busway. Wala ako napapansin na para nagbabantay. Baka pwede ho natin lagyan ng enforcer dyan, 24 hours din, o ng miyembro po ng SAIC. Just to, safety bawat istasyon po para hindi na magdedelikado yung mga bababa na pasahero. Kasi wala po, lalo sa gabi. May mga nakita po ako, nag-text pagbaba, hindi na tumitingin. May dumaan po na ambulansya, ewan ko, nakailaw lang, hindi na nagwawangwang. Baka madisgrasya. Pwede ho ba natin gawa ng paraan po yun?
Opo, we fully agree, Mr. Chair. Kailangan po tuloy-tuloy po yung enforcement natin, especially now that 24/7 po yung operations natin. And we would also like to inform this August body that by next year po, we intend to issue a directive to all our bus operators mandating them, sir, that the left side should have their doors already, sir. So that to ensure that wala na pong safety issue pag bumaba po sila. It's just, yes, sir.
Okay. Panghuli na lamang po, hindi nyo na ho ba dadagdagan yung mga bus stops dyan? Kasi po parang kulang. Parang itatapat nyo lamang kung saan may stop ang LRT. Paano kung hindi LRT or MRT sinakyan ng pasahero? Malayo pa po. Lalakarin niya ng 1 kilometro papunta po doon sa may MRT station para makasakay ho siya. Wala ho bang plano? Don't you have plans to add bus stops kahit na po hindi sa may MRT stations? Meron po bang plano? Ilan po ba nga pala muna ang inyong bus stops po? North and south.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that question, Mr. Chair. For the MRT, sir, there are 13 stations and we occupy most of them. But for the busway, sir, in totality po, 23 stations po tayo, sir. The latest inauguration was the SM North EDSA station this March. And by end of the year, sir, we will open a new one sa may Ortigas Center po, sir, which will be the 24th. And we are undertaking procurement for this year for 3 more stations, sir. One in PITX, we want it to be independent from the terminal itself po para mas mabilis po yung time and motion ng ating mga pasahero. Pangalawa po sa Magallanes, sir, we want to also establish a station there. And pangatlo po, sir, sa Cubao.
Panghuli na lamang po, mabilisan na lamang kasi meron pa po yung inyong railway pala. Parang hindi po siya PWD friendly, yung anti pong EDSA busway. Paano po kung gusto ng isang a person with disability na may mobility problem? Paano yan? Aakyat pa siya sa taas, bababa siya ng ganon. Aakyat na, no? Kung naka-wheelchair po, paano ho yun? Ano ang plano natin dito?
Yes, sir. Tama po yun, sir. That's one of the constraints really of the project, because when this was implemented, sir, it was in the middle of the pandemic and we had to work on what we had, what was the available configuration for EDSA. Masikip nga po talaga, especially our sidewalks. So what we did, sir, we identified locations where we can install elevators for our PWDs and senior citizens. We have installed 15, sir, for 5 stations. We installed also sa gitna po yung tinatawag nating man lifts kasi masikip nga po yung paglalagyan. But we continue, sir, to improve this. We recognize the concern and it should be addressed by the department as soon as. I'd like to highlight also, Mr. Chair, that for Kamuning, sir, yung Mount Kamuning po, we want to address that. So we are to install a new footbridge po sa Kamuning stop natin, which will cater all the foot traffic within the area. May installation din po kami ng elevators and man lifts.
Isa pa ho nakikita ko, Mr. Chair, yung mga bus po natin. I believe kailangan pagkakausapin na ho ninyo yung mga owners po ng bus, mga companies po natin. Hindi rin po sila friendly kung naka-wheelchair. Siguro kailangan na po nating introduce yung mga buses na kneeling bus. Yung bumababa para ma-accommodate po yung mga naka-wheelchair, yung gumaganon kagaya sa ibang bansa. Kasi ngayon po, hindi. Titiklupin na nga pag walang kasama, Mr. Chair, yung PWD. Alam ka ba ng tiklupin niya sarili yung kanyang, minsan yung konduktor. Whereas kung meron kang kneeling bus po na gaganon, diretso na lang po, wheelchair, tatabi siya dun sa unahan. Dapat they have to start introducing those kind of buses para, kasi ang tingin po nga po, hindi siya friendly yung EDSA busway. Maganda po siya, concept, bawas ang traffic, pero yung hindi siya talaga PWD friendly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will comply po.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Chair.
And just before we continue, I just like to echo the sentiments of Senator Erwin Tulfo regarding the PWD. Sana din po sa lalo natin palakasin ang mga infrastructure projects na may features para sa PWDs. Katulad ng ibang bansa, makikita mo may yung sa mga sidewalks, meron silang anong tawag doon, yung parang may mga rampa, and then even yung may texture, may para maramdaman nila yung yung tactiles, yan, may mga tactiles sila ganyan. So maganda rin sana na maisama sa mga plano yung mga features para sa ating mga PWDs, not just aside from wheelchairs, yung yung para sa mga may blindness or sa mga kapansanan, hearing disabilities, 'di ba, sa mga pedestrian walkways, minsan may naririnig kang mga may sounds para at least alam nila kung kailan sila ko-cross. Mga ganung features dapat. I agree with Senator Erwin, and we encourage that please, with new infrastructure, sana ma-integrate na yung mga features para sa ating mga PWDs. Thank you. And if we can ask the railway to proceed.
Honorable Chairperson, Senator Mark Villar, good morning po. Honorable Vice Chair, Senator Erwin Tulfo, good morning po. So allow me po to briefly update the committee on the status and the accomplishments po in the railway sector, particularly po in the last year and the last 6 months from the time that the new team at the DOTR began. Allow me po to begin with updates on the country's first subway, the Metro Manila Subway Project, or MMSP. Next slide. So the MMSP, a Japan International Cooperation Agency or JICA financed project, will build a 33-kilometer underground railway line from East Valenzuela to Bicutan with a spur to the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Shown in the slide po is a photo of the tunneling activities for the project. At the time that the DOTR was in the Senate po last year for budget deliberations, the project had an overall progress rate of 44%. This year, as of last month, this has increased to over 51%. The increase in the progress rate of the project can be seen in physical accomplishments, both at the station construction and tunneling components of the project. Next slide. At the top of the screen po, you would see photos showing the basement level 3 of the North Avenue station and an aerial shot of the Quezon Avenue station. The North Avenue station, which is our most advanced station for the subway, has reached a progress rate of 61.9%, up from 51.3% last year. Quezon Avenue station had the most significant jump in terms of progress, a 25.7% increase in just 1 year. On tunneling po, we have more than doubled its length of tunnels from 1.63 kilometers in August 2024 to 3.41 kilometers in August 2025. Shown po on the bottom left portion of the screen is the tunnel between the depot in East Valenzuela and the Quirino Highway Station, which as of last month has a tunneling progress rate of 55.3%. For right-of-way po, the progress shown in the slide refers to progress not in 1 year, but just in the last 6 months po, from when the new team in the DOTR started. In half a year, DOTR has increased its right-of-way acquisition for the subway from 52.5% to 71.5%. Further, through the leadership of our former secretary, Secretary Dizon, and our current secretary, Secretary Banoy Lopez, we have resolved some of the most critical right-of-way issues that were pending for the last 4 to 5 years. And this includes po the issues at the Ortigas Avenue Station. So in the bottom right photo po, just in his first week as acting secretary, Secretary Lopez led the demolition works at the Ortigas Avenue Station, which was made possible through the cooperation of the local government unit of Pasig. We now move on po to the biggest infrastructure project in Philippine history, the JICA and the Asian Development Bank or ADB financed North-South Commuter Rail or NSCR. The NSCR is a 147-kilometer railway line connecting Region 3 in the north, National Capital Region in the middle, and Region 4A in the south. Shown in the screen is a photo of the Balagtas Station, which has a 97% completion rate and will be part of the first partial operation segment of the NSCR from West Valenzuela to Malolos in December 2027. In the last year, the NSCR has progressed by a further 11% in construction progress from 22 to 33% and now has an overall progress rate of 58%. The increase in progress of the project can be seen in physical accomplishments in the construction of the stations, the viaduct, and depots for the project. Next slide. At the top of the screen, you will see photos po of the NSCR's Malolos and Giginto stations, including details on their progress just in the last year. Notably, Malolos station had a jump in progress from 54.5% in August of last year to 78% as of last month, while the progress at Giginto station is now close to 82%. Viaduct construction has also increased from 44 kilometers to close to 54 kilometers, leaving just less than 30 kilometers left to be constructed for our first 2 partial operation segments from West Valenzuela to Malolos and Malolos to Clark. On right-of-way po, the numbers on the bottom right portion of the screen reflects progress again just in the last 6 months, with significant increase in terms of acquisition, particularly at the Malolos to Clark segment, from 67% in February to 78% as of last month. Shown po further in the bottom right photos would be demolition activities just last September 18 from Bicutan to Muntinlupa until Laguna po, led by our secretary. Next project po is the hybrid JICA financed and PPP financed LRT1 Cavite extension. This project, when completed, will add 11 kilometers and 8 stations to the existing LRT1 and will connect it from Baclaran all the way to Cavite. Shown on the screen po is a photo of the LRT1 PITX station, which is one of the 5 stations completed last year. Next slide. Package 1 of the project with 5 new stations, the Redemptorist Asiana Station, MIA Road Station, PITX Station, Ninoy Aquino Avenue Station, and Dr. Stanton Station was inaugurated by the President on November 15, 2024 and opened to the public for commercial operations in the following day. After the opening of Package 1, the average daily ridership increased from around 350,000 in October 2024 to around 430,000 as of June 2025, an increase of 80,000 passengers per day. Now, in order to properly serve the increased ridership, the deployment of the JICA-financed 4th generation light rail vehicles, or LRVs, has also increased from 19 operational train sets in August 2024 to 28 in August 2025. Next is MRT-7 po, a 24-kilometer rail PPP project with 14 stations that will connect North Avenue in Quezon City to San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Construction progress for the project has increased from 72% in August of 2024 to 81% as of last month. Shown in the screen po is Batasan Station with the highest progress rate, currently more than 99%. Partial operations for the first 12 stations from North Avenue to Quirino will commence in 2027, while full operations all the way to Bulacan is targeted in the following year. Station works for the partial operation segment is nearing full completion na po. So as of July 31, apart from the Batasan Station, the following are stations with the highest progress. Mindanao Avenue Station, which is more than 99% from last year's 71%. Manggahan currently at 96 from last year's 93. And Regalado already at 98% complete from last year's 81.5. Rolling stock testing for MRT-7 has officially started in August, providing commuters with a glimpse of the upcoming partial operations of the railway line in 2027. That's it po for the railway sector, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Unahin ko na po muna yung ating subway, Mr. Chair. Kailan po ang target completion po nito?
Mr. Chair, the current target completion po of the subway is currently at 2032, but we are pushing it po to move a year earlier, 2031.
2031.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And right now it's 2025, so 6 years pa. All right, that line from North Avenue going po to San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, what will that be accomplished?
MRT-7 po, we are set for partial operations for the first 12 stations in 2027 hanggang Quirino Highway po yun. And yung all the way to Bulacan, last 2 stations po by 2028.
And then yung ating pong North-South Railway going po to Central Luzon, kailan po ito?
Mr. Chair, we have 2 partial operation segments po. First is Valenzuela, West Valenzuela to Malolos, and we'll start operations by December 2027. Second partial operations po is all the way to Clark. That's in fourth quarter of 2028. And then the full line na po from Clark in the north to Calamba in the south is targeted po in 2032.
2032. Right.
Regarding just recently, naipasa po namin yung Right-of-Way Act and binawasan yung depth para sa subway, yung para sa right-of-way. Anong magiging effect ng batas sa pag-implement ng subway program?
Mr. Chair, nagpapasalamat po kami to you specifically po, Mr. Chair, as the sponsor of that bill. And malaki po ang may tutulong ng new Right-of-Way Act sa right-of-way acquisition for the subway, particularly po yung subterranean acquisition natin for the tunnels and even the stations. Dati po, 50 kilometers pababa lang, 50 meters pababa po ang sa atin. Inakyat po natin yan sa 18 meters po for national government infrastructure projects, and one of them is the subway. Ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Yung 18 meters po pababa, hindi na po natin kailangan mag-acquire ng additional right-of-way. Pwede na po kagad magsimula ang mga contractors natin na on the ground. Yun naman po sa pagitan ng 18 to 50 meters, meron pong transitory clause yung Right-of-Way Act natin na kung nakapag-accept na po ang mga landowners ng offer to buy ng DOTR bago maging effective yung batas, babayaran po natin sila. Pero yung mga hindi pa po nag-accept, sa new Right-of-Way Act na po, ibig sabihin hindi na rin po kailangan ng additional right-of-way activities, Mr. Chair.
Just recently, it was signed by the President Marcos into law. So we'd also like to thank President Marcos for passing that law na makakatulong sa implementation ng subway at mapapabilis ang implementation. And just before, I just like to commend both the secretaries. I see that napaka-active nila sa field. And nakikita naman sa implementation, puro 99, 97. So sa tingin ko, mukhang sunod-sunod na yung inauguration ng ating mga projects. So I hope that they continue that trend of being very active in inspecting the projects. And I salute them both, Secretary Dizon and Secretary Lopez, for that.
Mr. Chair, may lang po ako tatanong kay ASEC Makabulas. Sa inyo din po yung LRT and MRT, right? Operations.
That's correct po, Mr. Chair.
Pwede po ba na yung ating LRT, MRT, parang buwan-buwan ho laging sira? May diferensya, parang normal na ho yata yun. can't we have this operation of the LRT and MRT na tuloy-tuloy lang po na hindi titigil, hindi masisira, hindi naglalakad yung mga tao sa gitna ng riles? Ano ba talagang problema? What seems to be the problem? Na every month may issue po ang LRT natin. Not LRT, MRT po laging may issue. What's happening here? Nakakahiya naman po. Parang we haven't mastered that yet. Laging may diferensya. It's not an excuse na may na problema sa linya, communications, etc. Pinto, dati may mga pati pinto, hindi magsara, yung signaling system. Hindi pa po ba natin na may memorize po yan? Pwede po ba na kung kaya nga po tinayo yan, dapat para maging convenient. Unfortunately, mga pasahero naglalakad dahil may diferensya. What are you guys doing about it?
Mr. Chair, we share the concern po, particularly on service interruptions po in our current operating lines along LRT1 po, LRT2, and MRT3. And one of the reasons po for these service interruptions is nagkakaedad na po yung mga current operational lines natin na tinayo pa po from the 1980s, for example, yung LRT1, 1990s po yung MRT3, and 2000s po yung LRT2. Kung kaya't naman po ay pinaplano na po ang pagpa-privatize or PPP po ng LRT1, ng LRT2 po at ng MRT3 po, kagaya ng ginawa po sa LRT1 noong 2014 kasama po ang LRMC. Sa PPP po na pinaplano, kasama po ang rehabilitation ng existing line para po masaayos yung mga nagkakaedad na po ng mga linya at mga assets ng trains para po ma-address yung mga service interruptions natin. And aside from that, we intend to cover din po yung operations and maintenance to be covered po by the private sector instead of government, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I believe you also have to take in consideration po na yung mga pasahero po natin, marami po mga senior citizens. Ay kita ho natin, minsan yung escalator po hindi ho gumagana. Elevators, minsan pagka haba-haba po ng pila. We have to do something about it, Mr. Chair, with isabay na ho natin sa development natin ng mga Line 7, yung mga, pati ho yung mga accessibility po for senior citizens and PWs. Yun ang problema natin sa DOTR, yung mga PWDs. Dito naman ho sa MRT, LRT, yung senior citizens, di po ba? Kulang po yung elevator natin. Paki-check nga po everyday kung gumagana ho, lalo yung mga escalators natin. Kasi di naman po lahat ng sasakay dyan, walang kapansanan. Mga senior citizens, di po ba? So I would advise that you check that every day. I-report ho sa inyo. If there's something wrong, hindi ho gumagana yung elevator, ayusin ho kaagad. Huwag na pagantayin hanggang bukas. Or mga escalator. How would you expect a pregnant woman go up there? I mean, napagkataas-taas. Or mga elevator, yung mga senior citizen na hindi kaya. Or mga physically handicapped na individuals. Make sure that lagi pong maayos yung ating mga elevators, escalators for accessibility po ng ating seniors and PWDs. Ano po?
We fully agree po, Mr. Chair. We will comply. And siguro po one note lang po is, as you may know po, our secretary has mandated officials of the department to commute po and to see the actual status on the ground. And talaga pong nakakatulong yung experience na yun para makita namin yung pinagdadaanan ng mga kababayan natin. At sisiguraduhin po natin na maayos po ang escalators and elevators on a daily basis po, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Balikan po natin yung sa DPWH. Ano po? Yung isa pa akong katanungan ko, I don't know kung sino po pwede sumagot. Ito po yung laging reklamo ng mga kababayan po natin. Bakit kagagawa lang ng kalsada na ito this year, ka-inaugurate lang, next year, bubungkalin at sisirain na? Well, what is the reason behind? I'll give you an example. Yung kalsada po dyan galing sa Quezon Province going to Camarines Sur. I don't know what's it called. Maharlika Highway, what have you. Kaayos lang po ng kalsada, next year bubungkalin. Is it because naglagay yung politiko ng pondo doon kaya kailangan sirain? Ito po lagi reklamo ng mga kabayan ho natin, Mr. Chair. Ang ayos-ayos pa ho nito, Sen, binungkal na naman ngayong taon na ito. Sabi ko, baka may nilagay lang dyan yung telepono, yung linya ng tubig. Hindi po sinira po talaga yung buong kalsada. At hindi lang naman small stretch po, talaga pagkahaba-haba. from one town to another. Baka gusto ninyong silipin yan dyan, bandahong nga hindi na natapos-tapos ang repair sa kalsada na yan from Quezon Province going to Kamsur. Lagi pong sira. Kaya mga kababayan natin, ang sinasabi kagad na sa isip, sinira na naman ng DPWH para may paggagastusan. Can we avoid this? What's the explanation na kailangan bungkalin, sirain yung kalsada na kagagawa lang mga concrete pa naman ho, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, sir, good morning again, sir. Sir, in principle, kasi sir, if the project was completed, for example, it has a parang warranty period let me start with that. So that yung warranty period niya is about 5 years.
2 years.
2 years asphalt and 5 years sa cement.
So, yung sinasabi yun yung nakikita ko is substandard. Yun ang problema doon. Kaya sira na kaagad pag dinaanan ng mga truck. Yun po ba ang isang dahilan doon? Kasi kung sinasabi mo na ang warranty period po is 5 years, dapat 5 years po siya, di ba? At kaya yung mga trailer truck, 16-wheeler, duman, di po ba? Is this correct, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Asek. Go ahead. I'm addressing it to you.
Yes, sir. Opo, in principle po, dapat po ganun kasi talaga dahil is nasa part ng system yon na yung yung structure should have a warranty period. Ngayon, kung Mr. Chair, if the observation is okay pa yung structurally stable pa siya and then hindi ho dapat talagang bungkalin pa dahil kasi sir, in the system, dapat na pumapasok dun sa system yun. Meron kaming tinatawag na road bridge information application system that we're using so that this system, yung road condition, monitors the condition of the road. We are managing something like 35,525 kilometers of national road system. These are all supposed to be in the system so that you would know more or less the condition of each and every section. So the application or the program would identify what intervention should be done on a yearly basis. You could even program it as far as 5 years or even so that you would know the intervention. So yung observation and Mr. Chair should not be should not be happening. I mean, kung okay pa siya kasi hindi siya dapat mabigyan ng fund in the first place,
Mr. Chair, Asek,
Yes, sir.
hindi lang po ako nakapag-observe dito. Kahit lahat ng tao na nanonood ho sa atin, at na-experience po nila. Biglang maayos yung kalsada, kagagawa lang, bubungkalin na next year. Hindi pa naman crack, wala pa naman sira. Concrete po siya. Hindi lang po dito sa Luzon, pati po dito po sa Palawan, kung saan po I grew up in Palawan, I represent the Mimaropa area. Lagi pong ganon, pagbayikuan. Is it because ang tingin tuloy ng mga tao, para may kumita, kasi pinondohan na naman ng Congress, ng Senate, hindi naman ho alam siguro ng ika nga APRO natin or what, na sira na pala yun o na hindi pa sira. Paulit-ulit ho yung parang systemic na ho, yung kagagawa lang, sisirain naman next year. Kagagawa lang, or at least sirain man lang yung isang portion siguro na may butas, pero hindi yung entire stretch from one town to another, 5 kilometers po. Nasasayang ho yung pondo. Yun po yung sinasabi ng mga kababayan natin. Isa pa pong issue. Dito sa may Cavite na lamang po, sa Region 4. Bago yung kalsada, pero yung mga poste ng ilaw nasa gitna. So naglagay ka ng additional lane. Ano ho yun? Para paradahan ng sakyan. You go there. Pupunta po na Nasugbo. Makikita nyo po dyan, yung mga bayan dyan. May bago po. Dati 2 lanes na. Naging 4 na. Ang problema po, doon sa naiwan naman sa gitna ng kalsada, yung mga poste. So paano mo po magagamit yung bagong lane kung may mga poste ng ilaw? Saan ho ang problema doon? Sa implementation ba? Sa walang coordination between DPWH and the LGU or the power companies at hindi po naalis? Pasyalan niyo po yan dyan sa may Cavite. Napakadami po niya. Nasa gitna yung poste ng ilaw. Hindi na po inurong. So useless din po yung paggawa ng additional na lane. Ngayon sinasabi doon sa proyekto, 4-lane highway. Ganda ho eh. Pagdating mo, magmiminor ka kasi meron pong poste ng ilaw, poste ng ilaw, poste ng... Hindi po magamit yung bagong lanes. Ganon din po sa mga probinsya. Paano ho ito? Paano ho natin kaya mariresolve itong issue na? Doon pa lang po, sayang na naman yung pondo. Sige po, Yusek Canlas.
With your permission, Mr. Chair and the Honorable Senator Tulfo, admittedly, totoo po yan. Kahapon po, kaninang madaling araw, natapos po yung plenary hearing namin sa budget sa House. At isa po yan na sana discuss. Nagkaroon po kasi ng ibang hindi parehas na interpretation yung NEA at yung mga cooperatives nila. Sila po kasi ang may capacity or expertise nung paglipat. Kahapon po napagkasunduan na isasama na po sa special provision ng GA of 2026 na yung pera po for that relocation po ng mga poste ililipat na lang po sa NEA or National Electrification Administration para sila na po ang mandated na mag-transfer ng mga ganong poste.
Lagi hong ganun eh. Matagal na hong practice. Mabuti, nasilip ngayon. Isa pa hong issue na lang, Mr. Chair, if you would allow me. Kagagawa lang po ng kalsada dito sa mga city. Uso ho ito dito sa Metro Manila. Kagagawa lang ho itong kalsada. Maya-maya makikita mo nagbubungkal yung PLDT. Mamaya-maya nagbubungkal yung Manila. Maya-maya Manila Water. Hindi mo na maintindihan. Binubungkal. So sira na naman. Bubutasin na naman. Yung issues po nito, bakit di po munang pag-aralan bago gawin yung kalsada? Kunwari NCR, yung NCR director natin ng DP. Oy, Maynilad. Oy, PLDT. Oy, meron ba kayong gagawin? Bungkalin nyo na ito kasi gagawin namin. Kasi sir, kagagawa lang ng kalsada, huhukayin. Mabuti sana kung sinisemento ulit ng mga companies ito. Hindi. Tatakpan lang nila ng lupa ulit. Yung pangit na hutignan at di yung maganda. Kailangan siguro, kausapin ninyo, mag-usap-usap naman kayo, parang awa nyo na, kayo mga ahensya, Public Works, Manila Water, lahat yung utility companies. Gagawin namin ito, baka meron kayong gawin, ha? Baka pwedeng tirahin yun ito. Can't you do that? Sige po.
With the permission of the Chair and the Honorable Senator Tulfo, totoo po yan. Kaya po, very recently, nagkaroon po kami ng meeting with all the stakeholders po dito sa bagay na to. At nakalabas po tayo ng bagong department order. Unang-una, dapat po yung 5-year plan ng iba't ibang, kunwari, ng DPWH, ng telco, ng utilities, power and water utilities na nagkakaalaman na po. At saka po nag-agree kami doon na wala silang sisirain na bagong constructed na kalsada. So lumabas na po yung department order na yon na addressing those issues. So enforceable na po siya this year, sir.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chair, I have one last question. Dito naman po tayo sa MMDA. Kayo po nagbibigay ng permit, ano po? Lalo sa Metro Manila.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, applicable pa ba yung batas ninyo na kailangan tapusin itong project? At may instruction ng Pangulo, kung matatandaan ko, na gusto ng Pangulo trabahuin, tapusin ang proyekto overnight. Pero may mga proyekto pa rin po na nakatiwangwang dyan na dadaanan ko sa mga iba't ibang lungsod dito sa Metro Manila. Na pagdating ho ng gabi talagang tumitigil. Bakit ho hindi tapusin 24-hour, 24/7? May order naman po ang Pangulo na kailangan bilisan. Bakit po hindi ho natatapos? Bakit pagdating parang yung mga gumagawa ng kalsada natin, kala mo nag-office hours din, 8 to 4 lang din, bukas na mabalik, Sabado-Linggo kailangan titigil. Matraffic ko tayo sa Metro Manila. Anong ginagawa ninyo, MMDA, sir?
Actually, sir, nire-regulate po namin ang pag-i-issue ng permit, sa excavation permit sa MMDA with due coordination with LGU and DPWH dahil po matraffic po sa umaga. Actually, yung mga ating reblocking, inaalaw po lang ng aming ahensya na gawin ng Friday, 11 o'clock hanggang Saturday, Sunday, and then sa Monday, dapat open na for traffic. Kasi po yung nagwo-worsen ng traffic natin lalo sa umaga, sa araw.
Kaya nga po, sir, ang tanong natin sa DPWH, Wala po ba tayong night differential para tuloy-tuloy po yung trabaho? Kasi para napapansin ko, sige, layo ho tayo, hindi sa city. Sa mga probinsya, ganoon po, nakatiwangwang yung mga proyekto sa kalsada. Pag weekend, lalo na po sa mga baryo, wala na ho nagtatrabaho, nakaparada na lang po doon yung bulldozer. Walang tao, mga bata ang nasa bulldozer, naglalaro na lang, ginagawang bahay-bahay yung bulldozer, naiiwan po. Ito yung problema natin, natatagalan ho. Hindi ba natin ini-incorporate sa cost ng project yung mga time differential, mga weekend? Hindi po ba natin pwedeng isama doon para mapabilis naman por Diyos por Santo mga proyekto natin? Parang nakasanayan na ho natin na 1 kilometrong kalsada, 1 linggo gagawin. Baka po pwede naman overnight, kagaya sa ibang bansa naman dahil billions din naman ang ginagasta na natin.
Thank you, sir. Tama po yun. At gumagawa ho ng reforms ang bagong secretary po natin at isa po sa kinoconsider po yan para ma-incorporate po dun sa kontrata yung mga night differentials.
Sir, kasi we owe it to the public, di po ba? Lalo na po yung mga infrastruktura na gano'n. Kailangan. Wag na ho natin hintayin na kung kakayanin po, i-estimate ninyo 2 weeks yung project. Kung kaya po ng 1 week, gawin na ho natin. I-incorporate ho natin yung night differential, overtime. Ang problema, Mr. Chair, lalo sa mga probinsya. Doon po, balik na naman po tayo sa Palawan. Ako nandoon last month, may mga areas na nakatiwangwang lang. Nandoon lang yung bulldozer. Pagkatapos wala na pong tao, weekend kasi. Noong nangyari doon, akala ko ba pati weekend dapat tuloy-tuloy ang trabaho para matapos. So kailangan siguro we really have to change this ika-nga policy.
Yes, sir. We agree with that, sir. Thank you.
Sige po, siguro sa bagong pamunuan siguro kay Secretary Vince, baka ika-nga mabago na itong practice po na ito. Thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all our invited resource persons for your respective presentations. For the DepDev, in the interest of time, please submit to the committee your presentation and pertinent documents. Thank you.